When engineering a Power over Ethernet solution, choosing the correct power supply is a critical requirement. Choosing the wrong power supply can either cause your solution to not work if the power supply is not large enough, or cost you extra money in panel space if the power supply is too large. Often, a rough estimate can be made by counting the number of PoE ports on a switch. Assuming a maximum power budget of 30 watts for each port, and then adding the power consumption of the switch. While this will cover your application, it could cost you quite a bit of extra money in panel space. Let's say that you are using one of Antaira's 8-port PoE switches with 2 additional combo ports. Using this method, you would calculate 8 times 30 watts for the PoE power, which is 240 watts, plus 5 watts for your unmanaged version, and 10 watts for your managed version. This would give you somewhere between 245 to 250 watts. You typically need to add 20% because most DC power supplies will degrade if the temperature rises above 50 degrees Celsius. So it is best to give yourself a buffer. This will bring the requirement up to around 300 watts. Let's say that while the switch has 8 ports, you are only using 5 of them for PoE, and that you have looked at the spec sheets for the devices to be powered and have determined that they require about 12 watts each. Now you only need 60 watts for the PoE devices. Add in the 5 to 10 watts for the switch, and that puts you at around 70 watts. If you add in the extra 20%, you still have less than 85 watts. You can see that doing a little research on the devices being powered can result in a much smaller power supply. The power supply that can provide up to 300 watts could be 3 times the cost of the smaller power supply and can take up to 2 times the space in your panel. This can have a huge impact on the cost of your project.